5 panels, 5 different logos, 5 different prices. And when you line up the spec sheets side by side, the differences nearly disappear. Same wattage, same aluminum frame profile, same junction box sitting in the exact same corner. Warranty language that reads like it came from one legal template copied 5 times. The logo is the only thing that clearly changed. That pattern points to one uncomfortable question. Does the brand name you are paying for actually reflect a different panel inside, or just a different sticker on the same supply chain output? Shared internals do not automatically mean low quality. The real trap is spending premium brand money while assuming you are buying premium engineering, when the proof that anything is different simply does not exist on the label. So what does same inside actually mean here? Because that phrase needs a precise definition before it can carry any weight. The signals that matter are structural and measurable. Cell format, module dimensions, frame extrusion profile, junction box placement, connector type, backsheet or glass specification, mounting hole pattern, and the shape of the performance warranty curve. When several of those line up across 2 different brands, that is meaningful overlap, not coincidence. What does not count on its own is a black frame, a similar wattage rating, or a matching efficiency percentage. Those are common industry targets, not fingerprints. The audit in each case is about OEM and ODM sourcing patterns. The manufacturing model where one factory produces the physical module and a separate company applies its own brand. That is a standard supply chain practice, not automatically a fraud, but it does mean the brand story and the construction reality can point in completely different directions. Each case ahead will hold those 2 things next to each other, what the brand claims and what the observable construction signals actually show. Renogy is the brand most DIY buyers treat as the default reference. Search 12-volt solar panel on Amazon and Renogy appears near the top. Vanlife forums and off-grid cabin builds cite it constantly, which means it has effectively become the baseline other brands get measured against. That reputation is worth auditing carefully rather than trusting automatically. Renogy's 100-watt 12-volt panels cluster around 1070 by 540 mm. Use an aluminum frame with a standard mounting hole pattern. Place the junction box at the rear center and ship with MC4 compatible connectors. 45% per degree Celsius. Those are not unusual specifications, but they are specific enough to compare. The manufacturing origin listed in Renogy's own documentation has shifted across product generations, and the warranty language does not pin liability to a named production facility. That leaves the construction fingerprints as the more reliable data. The platform similarity risk here is not that Renogy is fraudulent. It is that once Renogy becomes the reference, a competitor can match those same dimensional and electrical signatures, undercut the price, and appear to offer a discount without the buyer knowing whether anything structurally changed. The label signals one thing. The module construction may signal something else entirely. HQST shows up constantly in the same search results as Renogy, and the comparison almost always frames HQST as the budget alternative. That framing deserves scrutiny. Pull up a 100-watt 12-volt monocrystalline panel from each brand and the similarities stack up fast. Dimensions land within a few millimeters of each other. The aluminum frame profile matches. The junction box sits rear center on both. Mounting hole patterns align. Both ship with MC4 compatible connectors. Spec sheet language around temperature coefficient and open circuit voltage reads close enough that you could swap the headers and not immediately notice. To be direct about what the evidence does and does not show, available sources confirm strong product similarity, but do not prove HQST and Renogy are the same company, and no public documentation identifies a shared OEM supplier for both. The similarity is real. The explanation behind it is not confirmed. That distinction matters less to a buyer than this. If 2 panels share nearly every physical and electrical fingerprint, the price difference has to be buying something concrete. Better quality control, more reliable warranty enforcement, faster customer support when a panel underperforms. If none of those advantages are documented, you are paying for a logo. And a logo is the one thing that is definitely not the same inside. New Power occupies the same market lane. Search for portable solar for a van build or an RV roof kit, and New Power surfaces alongside the brands already covered here, usually sorted by wattage and price per watt. Run the same audit. A 100-watt 12-volt monocrystalline New Power panel lands at dimensions that overlap with the platform already described. Frame depth is consistent with the same aluminum extrusion profile. Junction box position is rear center. Cables ship at roughly the same length with MC4 compatible connectors. Backsheet descriptions use interchangeable language. Degradation warranty terms follow the identical structure. A steeper first-year drop, then a linear annual decline out to 25 years. None of that means new power is a poor product. The point is narrower than that. Distinct branding does not signal distinct engineering, and it does not automatically mean stronger warranty enforcement or better support when a panel fails mid-trip in a location where returning it is inconvenient. The label trap works the same way regardless of which brand name is printed on the frame. Now consider what happens when this pattern moves beyond individual panels into installer kits and pre-built off-grid packages where the components are already chosen for you. Rich Solar shows up differently than the brands already covered. The entry point is usually a kit, a 200-watt starter package for a cabin, a 4-panel off-grid bundle for an RV roof, a complete system with charge controller, cables and mounting hardware already selected. That bundling creates a perception of a proprietary ecosystem, and that perception is worth examining separately from the panel itself. Strip the kit away and look at the module. Dimensions on Rich Solar's monocrystalline panels align with the same platform dimensions appearing across this category. Frame depth, junction box placement, and cable length fall within the same tolerances. Cell layout and backsheet language follow the same conventions. Certification listings name the same testing bodies. Warranty structure uses the familiar two-stage degradation model. The charge controller in the bundle may be a different component entirely. That distinction matters for performance, but it does not change what the panel platform is built on. Check the model number format, the warranty administrator, and whether the company has a direct claims process or routes you through a distributor. Those details reveal more than the kit contents do. The next brand takes this further, leading with lifestyle identity so aggressively that the module underneath becomes almost invisible. Bougev leads with lifestyle. Van builds, overlanding setups, weekend off-grid adventures. The brand identity is sharp and the product photography is polished. That positioning works. It also makes the module underneath harder to examine because the aesthetic does most of the talking. One clarification before going further. Bougev sells flexible panels alongside rigid monocrystalline panels, and those are genuinely different constructions. Flexible CIGS panels use a distinct cell chemistry and substrate. Comparing one to a rigid mono panel from another brand and calling them the same would be inaccurate. Only like-for-like comparisons hold. On the rigid mono side, run the same audit. Dimensional footprint, frame depth, wattage bins available, junction box IP rating, connector language, and certification body. The performance warranty curve, 10 years to a threshold, 25 years to a lower threshold, appears here in the same form. It appears across every previous brand in this list. That is the pattern this entire list has been building toward. 5 brands, 5 different visual identities, 5 different marketing angles. The structural evidence that any one of them is built on a genuinely differentiated module platform is either absent or requires work most buyers never do. The label is the loudest variable. The panel underneath is often the quietest. So how does this actually work at scale? The mechanism is called OEM and ODM manufacturing. A factory designs a standard module platform, a frame dimension, a cell layout, a junction box spec, and then sells production slots to multiple buyers. Each buyer applies their own brand name, their own packaging, sometimes their own color trim on the frame. The underlying module is built from the same tooling. Wattage binning adds another layer. Cells from the same production run are sorted by measured output. Higher performing cells get labeled as higher wattage panels. Lower performing cells become a slightly cheaper SKU. 2 panels with different watt ratings can come from identical production equipment, separated only by where individual cells landed on a test bench. The shared components are not subtle. Aluminum frame profiles, tempered glass thickness, EVA encapsulation layers, backsheet materials, junction box housing designs, MC4 compatible connector types. These repeat across brands because they come from the same upstream suppliers. Datasheet language repeats for the same reason, the nuance that matters. 2 brands sourcing similar modules can still differ in meaningful ways. Cell grade selection, factory inspection standards, how warranty claims are actually processed, how old the inventory sitting in a distributor warehouse is. Those gaps are real. The label does not tell you any of that. That is precisely the problem. So now you know why the label does not tell you much. Here is how to check what is actually behind it. Start with the datasheet, not the product photo. Pull the PDF for every panel in your quote and line up these specific fields. Module dimensions, weight, cell count, temperature coefficient, NOCTI rating, maximum series fuse rating, and mechanical load rating. If two panels from different brands return identical numbers across all of those columns, that is not coincidence. That is shared tooling. Next, check the certification trail. UL, ETL, and IEC certificates are public records. Search the certificate holder name, not the brand on the box. If the listed manufacturer is a factory you have never heard of, and that same factory name appears on a competitor's certificate, both panels came from the same production floor, regardless of whose logo is printed on the frame. Then look at buyer photos, not marketing renders. Check junction box shape and placement, cable exit position, frame corner style, mounting hole pattern, and the connector markings on the leads. These details are harder to rebrand than a label. Finally, read the warranty language word for word. Identical degradation percentages, identical IP ratings, identical phrasing around Tier 1 status, without an actual bankability reference. That is copy-paste documentation, which means the underlying product documentation started in the same place. 4 checks. You can run all of them before you sign anything. Now those 4 checks will occasionally show you something useful. 2 panels are identical. The cheaper one wins. But sometimes they show you something different. Sometimes the premium panel actually earns its price, and walking away from it costs you more long-term. Here is when paying more is legitimate. If a manufacturer publishes independent third-party testing for PID resistance, hail impact rating, and mechanical load beyond standard IEC minimums, that documentation reflects real engineering decisions made at the factory level. A lower-cost panel from the same platform may skip those tests entirely. Same cell, different build standards. Temperature coefficient is another real differentiator. 35 across every hot afternoon for 25 years. That gap is not marketing. It is physics, and it compounds. Warranty realism matters more than warranty length. A 25-year guarantee from an importer who has been operating for 3 years is not the same instrument as the same language from a manufacturer with a documented claims history and a domestic service office. Ask your installer how many claims they have actually seen processed. That answer is worth more than the banner headline. The decision filter comes down to this. If 2 panels share platform clues, choose the one with stronger verified support, cleaner certification history, fresher inventory, and better installer feedback, at the lower delivered cost. If the more expensive panel wins on all of those factors, the premium is justified. The label is only evidence when documentation backs it. So here is the rule that survives everything you just watched. Buy the proof, not the sticker. Separate labels do not guarantee separate engineering, and similarity alone does not mean failure. What matters is documentation. Factory lineage, certification history, construction standards, warranty backing with a claims record, and real field performance data. If a seller cannot hand you that evidence, the premium is not justified. Pull the datasheets on any 2 panels you are comparing right now, and if the numbers look identical, drop that finding in the comments. Every pattern you name helps the next buyer spot the trap faster. Subscribe if you want the next investigation, and thanks for watching.